Alright, so what I'm doing here today is I've noticed a lot of machines, canisters, are starting to go towards what this Dyson uses, where they are still being recommended for carpet, but they are being used exclusively with a turbo brush. That's all they're offered with. Versus some of the older canisters, like this Electrolux UltraActive, that still have a true electrified power nozzle. So what I really want to showcase is just the difference that makes, even on something, this carpet, this is what I'm going to be cleaning. This is a low pile area rug. And low pile carpeting, low to medium pile carpeting is what most turbo nozzles are recommended for. But I still want to show on one of its recommended surfaces the massive difference that an actual power head can make in the overall cleaning. Now, disclaimer, something that I forgot to set up before I started doing this little intro is I actually need to flip this rug around so the pile of it is a little bit easier to clean with the direction that I had to set the camera up this time. So, give me a second, I will flip the rug around and then we'll be back. Alright, so I have the rug all flipped around, so it's actually the proper way. I've got the Electrolux off to the side, and I'm going to run over it with the Dyson just to show the difference. And yes, it is true that the vacuum that goes last always wins, but that's normally by a machine picking up very little dirt after the first has gone. If it's a massive amount, normally I credit that to some deficiency in the machine that went first. So, here we go. And just on a side note, this parking position on this Dyson is pretty much useless. Alright, so the Dyson honestly did better than I expected. Got a lot of the surface dirt and quite a bit more cat hair than I really thought would end up here. The only thing is, it's really not that much, because the ball of hair stayed spinning the entire time I was cleaning, and this is a small canister, so without a lot of hair getting in it, the cyclonic action normally stops. So I will dump this out on the floor. So there's the massive ball of hair, and then the finer, sandier, grittier things and fine dust that it pulled out. But I am going to kind of reset everything. I'll show you that the bin is empty on the Electrolux, and then we'll go from there. Alright, so it's time for the UltraActive to go over the carpet. This UltraActive is probably about 3 or 4 years old now, I would say, but they haven't changed anything to this machine in years other than the colors a couple times, so really it's not anything different from what's on the market currently, competing against things like that Dyson. So just to show, the container's a little bit dusty, but like there's nothing actually in it, and the filter's clean. There's no dust on it or anything like that, so let me just pop this back in. And what you saw before with the Dyson was me cleaning much slower than I normally would with it, and much slower than most people would with it. So that's kind of an ideal. I'm just going to go over it quickly with the UltraActive. So the UltraActive, the power head is going to be set on low pile, because it's a low pile carpet, and maximum power for the motor itself. So here we go. Okay, so really, the Dyson did quite a lot better. I've never run anything like this before. The Dyson did a lot better than I thought it would, and I'm guessing that's because it's on low pile carpeting. The other thing I should mention is, with this carpeting, you have to go very slow to honestly get all the grit and all the pet hair and dirt out, just because of the way it's woven and the way the pile is set. This is a hard to clean carpet with any machine, period, the end. But I'm going to dump this on the edge of this rug. Hopefully it'll be more contrasting that way. So the Electrolux got a tiny bit more of the cat fur out. There's a little bit of coating of dust. Really no grit. And then the filter is pretty much clean for the most part. So there's definitely not as big a difference as I would have thought between the two. but for the same price, and once you get into deeper pile carpeting, that difference is huge. And the other thing is, this amount, while it may be small, this was cleaned a day ago. There are 3 cats and 3 people in this home. And while there's not that big of a difference currently, when you add up this much pet hair being left behind every time by the Dyson, no matter how long you take to clean, it's going to add up into your carpet. And when you get into carpets, deeper pile carpets that retain grit more than something like this, that's when the difference really comes in, and it starts to completely destroy your carpeting. So, yeah. I mean, at the end of the day, if you got deeper pile carpeting, definitely, or wall-to-wall period, definitely go with the Electrolux. If you're buying crappy area rugs that go on hard floors from Walmart, go with the Dyson. You're going to have a lot less filter maintenance and a lot less maintenance in general. So, yeah, there you go, guys. Alright, so what I'm doing here today is I've noticed a lot of machines, canisters, are starting to go towards what this Dyson uses, where they are still being recommended for carpet, but they are being used exclusively with a turbo brush. That's all they're offered with. Versus some of the older canisters, like this Electrolux UltraActive, that still have a true electrified power nozzle. So what I really want to showcase is just the difference that makes, even on something, this carpet, this is what I'm going to be cleaning. This is a low pile area rug. And low pile carpeting, low to medium pile carpeting is what most turbo nozzles are recommended for. But I still want to show on one of its recommended surfaces the massive difference that an actual power head can make in the overall cleaning. Now, disclaimer, something that I forgot to set up before